Yeah, there are so many movies in this franchise. Friday the 13th Part 2 was released in 1981, directed by Steve Miner, starring Amy Steele. Yeah, there's just a lot in this franchise, and I want to get this franchise over with so I can move on to my next franchise review. So here's my review of Friday the 13th Part 2, starting off with the good. There's a few things I like in this movie. First of all, I really do like Amy Steele in this movie as Jenny. She's the final girl in this movie, and she gives a really good performance. I think she's a little better than the final girl from the first Friday the 13th, even though I did like that final girl. I just feel like Jenny's a little better here. They give her a little bit more of a character development in this movie than they did for the final girl in the last movie. And then I also really like the killer in this movie, Jason. This is the first movie that introduces Jason Voorhees as the killer. And I really like the look that they were going for with the sack head and the overalls. Really looked like an inbred hillbilly killer, if you will. I really like this version of Jason. I wish they'd continued with this version of Jason because I really like Sackhead Jason. Of course, I didn't like Sackhead Jason at first. When I first saw this movie, I just wanted to get to the hockey mask Jason, but after a few rewatches of this franchise, I really miss Sackhead Jason. After seeing some stuff they've done with hockey mask Jason later on, I just really like Sackhead Jason, like I've said 1,000 times already. They get some really good kills in this movie. I believe this is the one where that guy in the wheelchair gets hacked in the face and he goes down the staircase. That's a really cool kill. And you get some really good kills throughout this movie. One of the kills, which I liked, is a little bit of a negative, which I'll get to later. But I really like the kills in this movie. They're really brutal. They're fun. And also the score in this movie, like with most of the Friday the 13th franchise, the score is really good and the soundtrack is really good as well. So, points to that. And then, like with the first movie, I just really like the atmosphere of Crystal Lake and the sense of dread that builds throughout the movie because of Crystal Lake. I just think it's a fun atmosphere, and it's something that a lot of the later movies in this franchise lacked because, I don't know, something about the magic of the atmosphere was just taken away. I can't really put my finger on it, but that's just how I feel. But I really like the atmosphere in this movie. But that's about all for the good. Let's go ahead on to the bad, and there's a few things. First of all, outside of the character of Jenny, I didn't care for any of these new characters. They were pretty much just cannon fodder for Jason to dispatch in creative and brutal ways, which is the case with a lot of these slasher films, especially the big franchises. But I don't know. Every Nightmare on Elm Street movie had at least 3 or 4 characters I cared about, and every Halloween movie had the same. But Friday the 13th just felt like they were introducing these one-dimensional characters every movie just for Jason to kill them. And the most interesting one is obviously the one who survives. But that's just my opinion. And then I didn't like the fact that they killed off the final girl from the first movie early in this movie. I know some horror franchises do that. They kill off the final girl from the previous movie to introduce a new final girl. I just kind of wish that franchises didn't do that because you got some really good final girls that get killed off so early in the next movie. You got the final girl from the first movie in this one. You get Rachel from Halloween 4 gets killed off at Halloween 5. All the remaining Dream Warriors from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 get killed off in the opening of 4. There's just a lot of great final girls and survivors that get killed off so early in the next movie. But that's about all for the bad. That was more of a nitpick, but that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. Friday the 13th Part 2 isn't terrible, like some of the later entries in this franchise. Friday the 13th Part 2 is a watchable film, if not derivative, and a little frustrating, but it has one of the best portrayals of Jason, and I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. That was my thoughts on Friday the 13th Part 2. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.